Welcome to the Pulse of Spokane. Join us for the latest in news, views, and conversation with community leaders. The Pulse of Spokane is brought to you in part by Homes for You, Well Dressed Walrus, and Spokane Firefighters Local 29. Now, put your finger on the Pulse of Spokane.
Okay, so you may not have heard of it, but it's called Direct Primary Care, and Matt Dinsmore is here to tell me about Direct Primary Care in Spokane. It may be helpful to you if you're, worried about those increasing premiums with your insurance company. It's really maybe an effective and affordable way for healthcare. So stay with us to learn more about that. And then Bekah, Lindsey is going to be with us from 4 Degrees Real Estate to talk a little bit about the real estate market in Spokane. What's the average cost of a home here? How is the market changing? And then we're going to end the program with Mark Richard from the Downtown Spokane Partnership, and he's going to give us an update on everything to do with downtown. We'll be right back.
Well, this is Looms Day in Spokane. We got about 40 firefighters and their friends and family handing out 40,000 cups of water as the day goes by.
It's a very good opportunity to see the public and support them and help them out and cheer them on during Bloomsday.
It's one of the best things about Spokane is that we have these major events and the whole community comes together not just to participate, but to volunteer and show that they really care about our city and making our city look great.
This type of an event really is emblematic of Spokane because so many people get involved. We have 50,000 people probably running this race. Always has been a very huge event.
Right now we're at the corner of Broadway and Nettleton. It's the last water station before the finish, so people are pretty much dehydrated by the time they get to us. They really need our water.
The water stations are a vital part, especially on warm days like today. It's real important that we have the volunteers to help with that. Without the volunteers, Bloomsday wouldn't exist.
All up and down the course, there are people that are involved in this celebration. It really is a celebration of what Spokane's all about.
I'm Nikki Butler, and I'm a regional manager for STCU. My lunch buddy is Nicole.
I'm Brandy Schloss. I'm a regional manager at STCU. My lunch buddy is Angelina. She's grown up with me. I've grown up with her. To see her graduate will be a lot of fun.
Brandy and I have been lunch buddies since the girls were in 2nd grade. It's great that STCU provides me with the opportunity to be part of Reach for the Future. We are committed to the children. We're committed to our community. I'm Nikki.
I'm Brandy.
And STCU is here for good.
So I have Matt Dinsmore, here, from Spokane, and we're talking about direct primary care. And this is kind of, you and I were saying this is kind of a new thing. I don't know that a lot of people even know what direct primary care is. I didn't. So tell us about that.
Well, it's kind of an alternate model that's sweeping the nation, if you will. There's about 1,200 clinics following this model since about the late 1990s, and this is kind of the Spokane branch of it.
Okay.
And basically what the model is, it's a membership model. So people pay a monthly membership fee.
Like a gym membership?
Like a gym.
Okay.
We don't bill insurance. We're only accountable to the payer, which is the patient.
Right.
And then we try to just include as many services as we can within that monthly membership fee.
Okay.
The fallout is that we're helping people save on their deductibles.
Sure.
And they're also getting the highest quality care. You cannot compare the type of quality.
So do you find that a lot of your patients now come to you and don't have insurance at all?
No,
or they usually use this as kind of like a counterbalance thing?
I would say a counterbalance. I try to help save them with those upfront costs, because usually what sinks people is like that major medical bill. And if you're gonna have a heart attack, you're gonna want insurance for that, right?
Right.
You don't want me as a nurse practitioner doing heart surgery on you. Like you want to see a surgeon. So it's still good to have some type of major medical with that. But 70 to 90% of your care can be handled with a primary care physician who has the time and the services to do that. And so that's what that's the umbrella we're trying to cover, primary, preventative, and urgent care.
And so talk about some of the services that you do offer within that kind of monthly membership, if you will.
You bet. So we offer unlimited office visits. You can come in
Okay.
every day if you want. There's
Wow.
no co-payments because we think that discourages people from coming in.
Right.
We have same day to next day availability, 24/7 access to provide your provider directly through a HIPAA compliant
Okay.
app. Extended office visits, like 30 to 60 minutes. Our doctors panels or providers panels are much smaller. They're about 600. National average is
Sure.
5 times that. And then any labs done in-house, like a strep test, urine analysis, glucose, that's all included, no additional charge.
Wow.
Procedures, EKG, suturing, pulmonary function test, no additional charge, it's all
Wow.
included. And we even dispense at-cost medications. Like we get generic meds and we say this cost us $3.54 for 90 days worth, and it's $4 to you. So we're trying to just include as much value as we can for that monthly membership fee.
And you mentioned that this did start in kind of the 90s, but I would imagine it's really kicked off in the last couple of years, because I know so many people, especially in this area, are really unhappy with their premiums going up.
Yeah.
And, they're paying those expensive co-pays. And
Right.
so, is this kind of a solution to some of that?
I mean, we think so. We're biased, but yeah, premiums are going up, and even if they're going down, it's like 2%. I mean, it's not addressing the drastic curve that's happened since 2008. And there's kind of two main drivers. One is even if your premiums are staying the same, your deductible is getting higher, your co-payment's increasing. You have less access to a provider. So you might be paying the same or paying more and getting less care. And so there's people frustrated with the system. That's helped driving the system, and then doctors themselves, providers themselves, are tired of trying to provide high quality care in like 15-minute appointments, telling patients, I'm sorry, you only can address this one thing today, come back tomorrow for the next thing, or 2-3 weeks later for the next thing. So both those things in combination is beginning to align providers who went to school to provide high quality care, like really love people and help them, and then patients who are saying, you know what, there's a better way to receive healthcare and save money, and so they're kind of coming together in these direct primary care relationships.
And have you really seen kind of your branch really just take off? What's kind of the growth you're experiencing? How are people reacting to this? Because it is so new.
Yeah, it's, education is the biggest part, right? It's like, wait, okay, so unlimited office visits, like no co-payments, like, no, okay,
it almost
where's
sounds
the
too
catch?
good to be true.
Totally. So it's like, okay, come in, check out our office, like meet us, like this is real, this is what we do. So I think in Spokanites in particular, being one myself, they're like, they're very analytical. They want to evaluate everything.
Yeah.
So we try to just like walk with them and say, here's where you would be vulnerable, here's where it could help save you money, and to be as transparent as possible. There are some people that just like get it right off, and they're like, oh, just sign me up. Like, I don't, yes, I accept and agree to the terms and conditions. Like, and then there's some people that are like, let me see this play out for a couple months, and then come back 2 weeks later, let me ask you 3 more questions, and that's probably the more typical Spokanite, I would say. But we were encouraged because there's been some attempts in Spokane to launch, and some have just like petered out, and so it was like, oh, please, hopefully people will get it. And for the most part, we're well past the break-even point at this point, and we're all in trying to help people. So.
And some of it too, I think, is the timing. The timing is right. People are ready for something like this.
Yeah, we hope
and
so.
I really encourage you, no matter kind of what your belief may be about this or your initial reaction, or even your current health situation, to just look into this and explore it, read about it, because I think this might be something that continues to grow across the country. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see, as healthcare is evolving so much, is this a solution to some of the issues we're experiencing? So I encourage you to just look into it. And Matt, thanks for joining us.
Absolutely.
Direct Primary Care here in Spokane. And where can people, learn more about you at?
Well, if you Google Direct Primary Care Spokane, you'll find our website. Our website is mydpcclinic.com.
Okay.
And then also we have a Facebook page, mydpc.com.
And where's your office at? Is it in the Valley or?
It's North Spokane, basically Francis Division. We're attached to Holy Family.
Okay.
For Spokanites who know where that is.
Sure.
Yeah.
Great. Thanks for joining us.
Absolutely.
And when we come back, we're going to be with Bekah Lindsey from 4 Degrees Real Estate, and she's going to kind of walk us through the real estate market and what it's like in Spokane to date. We'll be right back.
The economy is getting stronger. Banks are lending again, and interest rates are at historic lows. Now is a great time to buy your dream home. The caring and knowledgeable professionals at Homes for You have been helping people just like you for over 20 years. They take the time to listen to what you want and will help you find just the right home in Washington or Idaho. Real estate is what we do at Homes for You, 928-5782, or visit online at homes4uspokane.com.
Welcome to a new kind of talk show, Spokane Talks, where you find news, views, and conversations that include respect for opinions, facts, and diversity.
Spokane Talks, Saturdays at 8 a.m. on Fox 28.
O'Brien Logistics would like to invite you to try our local and regional transportation services. With Sprinter vans, lift gates, hot-shot flatbeds, and expedited services, our people are ready to step in and help with your transportation needs. Our services are 24/7, 365, and we are trained and prepared to handle air cargo and Canadian shipments. Give us a call at 208-305-2311 or visit our website at o'brienlogistics.net. That's OBRIEN logistics.net.
Okay, so the Spokane real estate market is hot right now, and Bekah Lindsey is here from 4 Degrees Real Estate to talk to us a little bit about what the market's like right now. And so Bekah, I was asking you earlier, is it a buyer's market? Is it a seller's market? Like, what's kind of going on right now?
Yeah, so it is definitely a seller's market, and what that means is that the sellers really have the advantage because we have pretty low inventory right now. So there's a lot more buyers needing homes than sellers having homes. So a lot of times what we're seeing is many buyers coming in and bidding, and then it's highest and best, and so people get beat out a lot.
Which is great for the seller because they can sell their home at top dollar.
Yep, definitely.
But it does raise some issues for people wanting to buy a home here. Since there isn't much inventory. Right?
Yeah.
And we're talking about kind of the anticipating the future, and you mentioned that there are some things happening in town that might affect that market. So what were those things?
Yeah, well, we know Amazon is coming. And we also know we heard that there's like an electric car factory coming. So that's more jobs, which is great for Spokane, but it also might mean more people coming to Spokane for those jobs as well. So we kind of want to anticipate that and realize we don't know what the market's going to do. We don't have a crystal ball for that, but we can kind of see, okay, I don't know if things are going to super slow down. People are building more homes, but is it fast enough? So not to create any sort of panic, because I think there are still homes out there, and there are also things that we can do as far as like the buyers, doing different, like the less amount of contingencies, the better, or lower amount of days for inspection, so that it kind of gives a seller incentive to want to work with the buyer. So there are different things that you can do, which plus make a good offer. That's a good price too. So,
and what are kind of the benefits, I guess, of working with an agent? Because some people say, oh, well, I don't know if I should get an agent or if we should just try to sell the home on our own.
Sure.
So what do you have to say? I mean, I know you're kind of biased because you're an agent, but I mean, like, what are honestly like the benefits of working with an agent rather than doing it on your own?
Well, I would say we are licensed and trained professionals. So I mean, I have my license. I put in hours and hours and had to pass a test, and I have oversight. So I've got a lot more experience with that, and then I'm in the market every day. We are in the market every day. We're looking at homes online. We're going through the homes. We're talking to agents. We're finding out what's going on. So we really know what's happening with the market, so we can help the sellers know, all right, this is what you can expect. This is how you can market your home better. When we put a home on the market, it automatically goes out to our MLS, which is multiple listing service.
Okay.
So that goes to all the agents who have access to the MLS, which I believe is around 2,000.
Wow.
So it's immediate. It goes to all their clients that are looking for new homes in that price range. It goes to price change. It is immediate, as well as like Realtor.com and Craigslist. I mean, we really flood the internet. That's part of it. Then there's the signs that for the for sale signs, we get calls on that, and then we're also just in the market, so we kind of know how to help that home sell for the best that we can. And advising, like, especially for, I guess, for sellers and buyers, but like advising sellers, this is how to present your home. These are like, we're going to get professional photos, or we're going to do these kind of things to help your home shine and sell quickly and for a really good price. And we also, real estate realtors, we also are looking at contracts every day. I mean, I've written a lot of offers myself, so we know the ins and outs, we know what to look for, we can present them the offers. So that's a good thing. And then also we field like all the calls from the buyers, so we can set up showing times. I mean, there's just so much that goes,
and you know what they're looking for too. Because you're working with both ends.
Exactly. I know what the buyer's looking for. As far as buyers, if you want to work with a realtor, we really sit down and find out, what are your goals, what do you love, what do you areas, where are you looking for, and so we can kind of truly guide them in this kind of stressful process and try to make it like fun. And,
absolutely. And you know, I was asking earlier about the average price of a home in Spokane. Because I remember being at school this past year, and one of my professors was saying, you know, Seattle is one of the most expensive cities to live in America. And I think she said it was in like the ballpark of $800 and some thousand was the average home price. So, you know, what does that look like in Spokane? What's the average price of a home here? And has it changed over the last year?
Sure, yes. Well, I just pulled up our stats today. And as far as in May, the average price of a home in Spokane is $281,000. And that is up from $265,000 last May, so May 2018.
So it has gone up a little bit, but obviously much more reasonable than if you were
not Seattle.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly.
And you know, I was wondering too, what are some red flags that people should have? You know, when they're walking through a home, what should they be looking for? I know that's kind of like you mentioned, one of the perks of having an agent, because they know what things to look for. They do it all the time, and they can kind of tell you, ooh, those are red flags. But like, what things should they be looking for as red flags?
I think some things that buyers can do to kind of help prep themselves even before they enter the home is drive the neighborhood. So, I mean, they're going to be living in this house. You can't choose your neighbors. If it's something they like, everybody's, I mean, I've been asked a lot of times, what do you think about the neighborhood? But truly, we're not allowed to give our opinion. It's very subjective. But that's why we are a source for the source. Like, we can give them website things. So I would do your research for the home, where the home lies. You can look up crimereport.com. You can look up different things. Drive the neighborhood. See if you like the traffic, if you like. But then when you enter the home, so that's kind of like a preemptive research, or, you know, once you've seen it, just try to do that a little bit if you made an offer. But when you enter the home, I think some things are definitely looking at the quality, but most people aren't like contractors or have any sort of specialty in like plumbing or anything. So the great thing about, if you're going to buy a home, you want to know, you know, how does the home kind of make you feel in some ways, but we have inspections. So we write into the contract many times. I would definitely recommend getting an inspection to get a home inspection, and then somebody goes in who's a professional and will check everything, and you get a report. So then you really
know what they're getting into.
The red flags. So because I've you know, you can see like sometimes cracks in the foundation, but a home inspector might say, well, that's actually not so bad. But finding an expert to really walk you through anything that could be a question, that's huge. And so I think really knowing that you have a realtor who also can remind you, like, I know you really wanted 4 bedrooms. This is 3. Is that really going to work for you? Because at the end of the day, sometimes, like, I've taken people to like 6 homes in a day, so it gets kind of convoluted and fuzzy. So it's like, all right, you need somebody who can keep track of all that and remind you of what you're looking for, and kind of give you those questions in the moment. But,
absolutely. And I think one of the things too, obviously on your end, is you don't want to mislead people. Because it can be a tricky business. And, you know, there's people are kind of in it for themselves. You know, the buyers want to buy a home that's best for them, and the sellers want to sell their home for top dollar.
Yeah.
So I think it helps that, you know, if you have an agent that really knows the goals of both and how like we can kind of meet in the middle, what's best for everyone. It really goes a long way.
Yeah, I mean, we are negotiators too.
Yes.
So we're the ones that go to the other agent and like, how can we help this deal go through? Like, is this the best choice for, you know? Well, I mean, once there's been an offer made, how do we make the deal go through?
Right, absolutely.
So yeah, I think we definitely want the best for our clients and work really hard to make sure those come to pass and they get their home they love, or that they get to sell their home and move on to the next thing. So
I love it. And Bekah, so where can people contact you if they're looking to buy or sell a home?
Yes. So my phone number is 509-270-8926.
Okay.
I don't know where I'm supposed to.
And do you have a website?
Yes. So Bekah at 4degrees.com, and it's BEKAH.
Yes.
At
add the H.
4 with the number 4 degrees.com.
Okay. Awesome. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
And I just think it's very interesting for people to kind of hear what's going on, especially if they're not in the market or might be looking to be, to get that advice. So thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
And that is all for this segment. When we come back, we're going to be with Mark Richards from the Downtown Spokane Partnership.
The economy is getting stronger. Banks are lending again, and interest rates are at historic lows. Now is a great time to buy your dream home. The caring and knowledgeable professionals at Homes for You have been helping people just like you for over 20 years. They take the time to listen to what you want and will help you find just the right home in Washington or Idaho. Real estate is what we do at Homes for You, 928-5782, or visit online at homes4uspokane.com.
Welcome to a new kind of talk show, Spokane Talks, where you find news, views, and conversations that include respect for opinions, facts, and diversity.
Spokane Talks, Saturdays at 8 a.m. on Fox 28.
O'Brien Logistics would like to invite you to try our local and regional transportation services. With Sprinter vans, lift gates, hot-shot flatbeds, and expedited services, our people are ready to step in and help with your transportation needs. Our services are 24/7, 365, and we are trained and prepared to handle air cargo and Canadian shipments. Give us a call at 208-305-2311 or visit our website at o'brienlogistics.net. That's OBRIEN logistics.net.
Hey, welcome back. So we have Mark Richards from the Downtown Spokane Partnership. And, you know, Mark, there's so much going on downtown right now, it's almost hard to keep up.
It is a little hard to keep up, which is why I like being here. It's
That's
great,
right.
Great
That's right.
opportunity. We take it just a little bit at a time every month.
That's right.
It's not such a long list.
That's right.
Of great stuff.
And so tell us about some of the events this month, because there are, I mean, we've got Hoop Fest, but there's some other things going on too.
Yeah, sure. So a handful of things. First of all, Bazaar, which has really become an annual icon.
Okay.
So it is an outdoor art fest, and it is. In the past, I think we've held it up and down Wall Street. This year, we're going to close down a section of Main Street out near the mall.
Cool.
And so that's going to be on June 22nd. We have, I think last year there was over $150,000 worth of local artist work that was sold during that event.
That's great.
We anticipate just short of 100 vendors. And so, again, June 22nd, love to have folks come down and check that out and support local artists, which is really important.
And, you know, of course, there's also some beautification projects going on. You know, I saw this morning as I was parking outside the studio, these big, beautiful planters.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that that was one of the projects that's been going on. So talk about that.
That is, yeah. So as a part of our organization, we manage and maintain a number of different planters throughout the downtown area.
Okay.
Over the course of the last 2 years, and then I think next year, essentially we have an advisory committee that has agreed to channel some of our collective parking meter revenue, so the money we put into our parking meters, back into, I would say all of it goes back into downtown. Two key projects this year. One, and again, of a multi-year approach, which is 50 new ground planters that are out on the street as a result of that. And so just adding more color, more vibrance. And then so we plant those together with volunteers, and so that's always a lot of fun. If people want to get involved in their downtown, that's just one of many ways we can use you as a volunteer and enjoy working with you. And then the other biggie, which is if you kind of recall, about 3 or 4 years ago, the administration started at our request using parking meter revenues to improve the on and off ramps leading in and out of our city onto I-90, so the interstate freeway. So Maple Ash is the last of those intersections, and it'll be under construction soon. So new beautification, if you recall. So if people drive by real quick, they're going to see some old tired landscaping, a lot of weeds, not very well kept, and you know, by the end of the year, we should see just a really beautiful new landscape and probably a little bit of art.
That's awesome. And you know what is so exciting, especially Spokane is growing so much. I mean, the population just keeps going up and up and up and up and up. And it's exciting, but there's challenges that come along with that. So I think maintaining and working on these different beautification projects really do add to kind of the value and the tourist attraction, you know, drawing visitors here and thinking that, wow, this is a really great place, right?
Well, to your point, so on walkscore.com, if people go Google that, and Spokane downtown gets a phenomenal walkability score rating.
That's great.
But one of the things that we don't think about is we have some aging sidewalks out there, and so one of the things we're just wrapping up is a handful of sidewalk vault construction projects. Where the city has secured some grant dollars, and we're literally repairing, in some cases, over 100-year-old sidewalks that are, or I'd say vaults, 100-year-old vaults that that essentially used to allow for the steam infrastructure, so pipes that used to feed the entire downtown with heat. And so those, you know, some of those are in need of repair. It's good to see them. Just like you said, you got to keep up on that.
That's right.
In order to keep it walkable.
And you know, there are ways too for, you know, people in Spokane to kind of voice an opinion in what's going on downtown and in the park. So talk about that. Engage, right?
Yes.
Engage in Spokane.
Yeah, and so what our brand for this year and our theme is reimagine, but this is a way for them to engage in that process. And so much like the city and the county, the city has a comprehensive plan by requirement by the state, and then a subset of that is the downtown plan. And so this year, we celebrate essentially the 10-year anniversary of that downtown plan by giving it a little refresh.
That's great.
And so we invite folks. We're going to have, starting in July, we'll have watch for announcements probably here and other places where we'll have a kickoff meeting. We're going to do some kind of more contemporary engagement, so social media and digital surveys and things like that. How do we draw out our viewers' perspective about what they want to see in their downtown, what their concerns are, what kinds of infrastructure, what does transportation look like 10, 20 years from now? We know we need to be thinking about that today.
And you know, it really is a good way for people to give their input, because I know you hear people say, there's so much going on, I feel like I don't have a voice in it. Well, you know, they can. And, you know, one of the things lately is people have been upset about what they're seeing downtown with, you know, the homelessness issue and the trash issue and other things. And, you know, by volunteering to, you know, help with these planters and other, you know, beautification projects, there are ways you can help, which is really exciting. And I just kind of urge you all to recognize that, you know, Downtown Spokane Partnership and others are really working at some of these issues. And we all want to better our community and our downtown area. So there's a lot of exciting things happening, and I'm really looking forward to it. There's a new business downtown, though, that we should mention before you leave, and it's called the Mango Tree, right? So what's that about?
Yeah, so at 405 West Main Avenue, so right across the street from Auntie's Bookstore, is a brand new restaurant, and it's they serve Indian cuisine, and if folks haven't checked it out yet, you really should. The interior is a whole new refresh on that. One of the things I always look for when I'm going out and about looking, this is not only is it Indian cuisine, but it's also a tap house, which of course anymore you can't have food without a good beer,
especially
or a
in
good
Spokane.
wine. Exactly,
That's great.
So so it has a tap house as well. It's got a beautiful outdoor patio. That was what I was going to say. I always look for that outdoor seating this time of year. This one is on the north side of the building, so it's nice and shady.
Sure.
So you can just sit outside and watch the world go by and eat some amazing Indian cuisine. So that's new, and then for people that are a little bit more on the go, there's another outdoor kind of a sidewalk seating, and that is the Chicago Dogs, and that is built right in the wall of Luigi's, so a little bit further down on Main Street.
Oh, okay.
Main and Bernard, and they serve authentic Chicago-style hot dogs. And they have a little window right there on the wall. You literally walk up, order outside, and then you can sit down and eat or take it back to the office.
That's great. That's awesome. Very smart. You know, kind of clever. We're getting a variety of different kind of restaurants downtown. It's exciting. Mark, thanks for coming on the show. We always enjoy having you. And when we come back, we're going to be with, actually, that's the end of the program today. Hey, Vinny, can we redo that exit, that outro? I forgot he's the last one.
That's all right.
And when we come back, shoot, darn it.
We're going to say goodbye when we come back.
And when we come back, we're going to say goodbye. Okay, ready, Vinny? Yep. Thanks for joining us. And that's all for the Pulse of Spokane today. I hope you've learned a thing or two and felt kind of the pulse of what's going on here in the downtown area. We'll see you next time on The Pulse. Bye-bye.
The Pulse of Spokane is produced in Spokane, Washington by SpokaneTalksMedia.com, which is solely responsible for its content. The Pulse of Spokane is brought to you in part by Homes for You, Well-Dressed Walrus, and Spokane Firefighters Local 29. Ask the host a question, recommend a guest, or hear this program again on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or SpokaneTalksMedia.com.